Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 1. In the last episode, we started off the investigation of Turnabout Airlines with a murder on an airplane inside of an elevator inside of the airplane. That is, I don't know why there's an elevator inside of an airplane in the first place, but okay, whatever. And we were actually accused of the murder at some point, but now I think we've figured out how to clear our own names, so yeah, let's just continue on with it, and hopefully we can prove our name. Alright, let's go. What's going on over there? Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I am saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. Lablanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come. Let me see. Howdy, do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. This man seems to get angry at everything, so like... Okay, it was when the needles on my clock pointed to the 6 and the 12. It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15, and that's when I found the two of them as well. You see? It all matches my testimony! And you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. No, your silly little opinion is what's mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken. Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. He certainly has a lot of confidence in his testimony. If push comes to shove, I may need to press him for more information. And pressing we will do. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside that was that Mr. Hicks man. This last aspect is a little too important to let go. The person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. Let's go. Alright. That's what it is. Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? Will you admit that you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Oof! There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? I don't understand your Burgundian curse words. Can you please translate for us?
No way, that's totally impossible, I guess is what he said.
No way, that is totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw it with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. Lablanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. Lablanc, please, just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one. Mr. Lablanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. This man, dude. Why? So, are you still upset now? I am always upset. The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It is surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But when I was even more upset was when Mr. Hicks walked by me. Why were you so attentive at the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time. In money. You understand the point? Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? A summary of the plot and the start time. Interesting. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late. Your pocket watch? I'd like to ask you a little more about that if it's alright. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. Let's check. Movie. 6 to 8. We have another 6 to 8 though. I don't know when they're landing, but... Wait, hold on. No. When are they landing? It doesn't fucking say. It doesn't say. So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes! I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Miss Tenero, was this movie shown on the flight? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense! You doubt me? No! Now stop pointing at me like that! Odd. How did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure. My watch is set to my destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane. You're sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc? Yes, of course. I am a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch. I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made. Flatter me all you want, but you will not get 1 cent out of me. That's alright. All I require is this piece of testimony. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. Let's go. Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth at 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Teniro, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Jingfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we are still running on Borginian time. What? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Wah! Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1 million cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1 million cents! This should clear up all the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. Leblanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now was, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? And you are?
Yeah, I'm Cammy Meal. I'm a flight attendant.
And what is it you wish to say?
Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it.
What do you mean, Cammy?
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
What? How can you be so sure of the time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point.
Ah, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Jingfa, correct?
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks.
And during that time, did any of the passengers leave or did any new ones board this flight?
No. Not a single person got off or on in Jingfa.
What about the flight crew?
The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane.
So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Alright, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now what time did you come to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Jingfa. You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in the lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
Unfortunately, yes.
But then, how do we explain the footprints?
Is not that obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in the lounge, waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. Lablanc? What? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge? Crap. I don't know. Republic in Jingfa. Refueling in Jingfa. The murder weapon, this little piggy bank, is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all. Yeah. Is there no way to win with this man?
If I may.
What is it?
You see... Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh? And why do you know this so well?
Well, it's just that, that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
And when was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.
Isn't that just before we hit the patch of turbulence?
That's right.
You were in the shop just before the turbulence?
Yes, I was.
Come to think of it. Miss Tenero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
And what is beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
Then you were on the first floor?
Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room.
Are you saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes, you seem really into the issue of the Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by.
I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was.
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there.
Why did you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you not say anything about that until now, is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well.
Shall we head over there then?
What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I've already asked him for permission to search the entire plane, so I think we're all right. Huh? That's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenero?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are.
You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us?
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. Leblanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on.
There's something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity, but right now investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority.
Here. Sorry, guys.
March 12th, 8:32 a.m. Flight, first floor in-flight shop. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then.
Hold on. You can't clean up a potential crime scene.
Thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There was a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. All right. What are these?
Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world you try then buy.
No way, but either way it doesn't really matter.
True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane?
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you?
It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach.
Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was gonna finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with.
It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda.
Miss Tenero designed this?
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so blah.
Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. What the Oh!
You okay?
I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation.
Here, I'll put it back.
Yeah, wait, then why were they just... Huh? Inside this display case is a roll of lifesavers and vests on sale.
We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when there's nothing going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one?
I sense that the shop is one shopper away from being sued. Oh wait, I have to talk to Mio maybe, yeah.
I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever.
So, what do you think about what has happened regarding this case?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer, though, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can assure you that I'm here in this shop just to prove the opposite.
Ah, but it was me that got you the permission to look around. You know? So don't forget that, okay?
How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep?
Well, you know what really shows your thanks? You see that item for sale over there?
Sorry, but you're going to have to make do with my words of appreciation. Glass. The glass from this display's case door is shattered all over the floor, and it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat? Logic time! Hehe, let's put hat on Mr. iFly. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see.
It's so cute!
I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from the display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it?
Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop.
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything?
I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. Further inspection it is. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Let's go. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly.
Ah!
What is it?
I touched the glass and I cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts.
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. And I said that there was glass around here. Did you not listen to me when I said to be careful? My goodness.
Yeah, that's a paperweight of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. On the bottom shelf, we have the cute one. The middle shelf is the realistic one. And on the top shelf, that's the floral version.
Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. Wait. There's a deduce! We have a deduce button! Deduce! Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I have no idea, but we're going to try and figure this out. There was definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. iFly bank, then there should be shards of glass inside the case itself.
Oh! Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
No, there isn't.
Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. This piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time too.
That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took Mr. Eyefly from here after the turbulence. Okay. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen when I'm talking. But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So, you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point that is a very real possibility.
But then what if the killer went to take Mr. Eyefly? They broke the glass by accident.
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh? And who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Okay. Can we do some logic real quick and see if we can piece together some things? I am not talking in my normal voice. I'm talking in Edward's voice from now on, the whole time. Yes, there is definitely something wrong here.
What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure, they totally is strange, like the color and such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator.
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I spotted something that's not quite right. What is so unusual about the suitcase? Oh. Well, there's one that has one of these, and then there's one that doesn't. What is this one not? There's something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in,
there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying.
And
so, it is very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. Oh, and it's soaked with blood.
It's blood!
It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to a murder after all. Yes.
So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps?
But aren't you just talking about the cloth, then?
That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is... I don't know. Frick. It's the Tiki statue. Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it?
But...
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed at an entirely different location.
So you're saying that after moving the body onto the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments, however, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun! We can camp out and watch over everything together!
I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. All right. Wow. Okay. This is getting interesting. I guess that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time. Roll the end card.
Objection! You haven't hit like and subscribe yet. Hold it! You forgot to ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. Take that! Click here to watch more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!